Hello, my name is Albert Samah. Growing up, my friends, classmates, and siblings would call me longback head. Now, for those of you who are unfamiliar with the concept of longback head is a word in pidgin English that describes the back of your head. And if you don't have a round shaped back head, you're called longback head. Really, I didn't have problems, and I still do not have problems with those who called me longback head, because now I know the genesis and the origin of that concept. And in this video, I just want to unpack that notion and share with you certain lessons that will help you in your own individual lives when it comes to your look or your outward appearance. Now, this concept of longback head began when the big bad guy Lucifer lost his job in heaven. When he attempted the first coup d'etat in heaven, he was fired. And so when he came on earth without a job, he reinvented a job, or he created a company called Lucifer's Lies Incorporated. And one of his product was, or software was, doubt. He created the software of doubt. And when he began his marketing, Eve was his first victim, or his first client. So he came to Eve and asked Eve, did God say you should not eat of all the fruits in the garden? And Eve said, no, God said we should not eat of this specific fruit. And he said, well, God knows the day you eat of this fruit, you will be like him. And you know, this is really, really interesting, because when God created man, when God created Adam and Eve, he created them in his image and in his likeness. So you can't say that God does not want them to be like him, because they were created to be like him, right? So ever since that software, man has lived in this doubt. Man will doubt his creator, doubt one another, and sometimes will doubt himself. That's part of that package, the package of that software called created by Lucifer. And when you look throughout history, you will find that he keeps using that software. He used it in time past, he's still using it today. And sometimes people ignorantly use that software, probably for their own personal benefits, or for their own personal agenda. And when you look right down in around the 1070 AD, even a religious, one of the most pious religious leaders or figures, Samah, actually fell in that trap when God sent him to go anoint a son in the family of Jesse, in the house of Jesse. He went and saw the first son, Eliab, and he said, certainly this guy should be the king, because he looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger, he looks like Will Smith, he looks like The Rock, he looks like LeBron. And God said, no, no, no. You guys look at the outside, but are more interested in the inside. You look at the external, are more interested in the internal. You're more conscious or more interested in the container, but are looking for the content. You are interested in the tent, but I'm interested in the tenants living in that tent or in that body, you know. And you will find that around the 1950s and 60s, Martin Luther King Jr. will use that same thought when he says that there will come a time when he will not be judged by the color of his skin, but by the content of his character. You know, kind of fighting against that. You know, that software that was developed by that company that I just made mention of. So down the line, you will find around the 15th century, the imperialists, beginning with the Portuguese, will use this software, and sometimes at this time they'll use it for their own advantage, for economic reasons. And so in order to justify slave trade and later on colonization, they said Africans were subhumans, they were barbaric. And so that's why they got engaged in slave trade. And this will be propagated even during the colonial period. And even today we find that this software is being used in different circles and in different companies and in industries, and you find that sometimes there are people with certain features or traits or looks are recruited or employed in certain jobs, like, you know, they are the ones at the forefront because they think that they look better, they look, because of their looks, they are, you know, they are used for adverts, they're used for entertainment, you know. It just kind of reinforce or push through this ideology here. So today I just want to share with you 5 key lessons concerning that will help you and help me on our looks. The first key lesson or the first principle is that being born with a certain feature or looks is never an achievement. Whether you're born black or white, tall or short, that is not an achievement. There is nothing you did to come into that body, right? So it's not an achievement. So don't expect people to worship you, praise you because of your looks. Second point, never focus on your looks at the expense of your life's assignment, your purpose in life. You know, your looks were given to accomplish your purpose, not the other way around. Sometimes people become so more conscious on how they look than on what those looks were meant to be accomplished, right? So sometimes people will not want to do certain things, like, oh, I don't want this to affect the way I look, you know. So, and sometimes they do that at the expense of their life's assignment. Third lesson, never live the lie of focusing on your looks at the expense of your legacy. You know, at a certain age, no one will be interested on how you look, whether your head is big, small, you're tall, you're short, you're slim, or bulky. All of those external features, no one will be more interested. At a certain age, people will be more focused on what you have produced that has benefited or that will benefit humankind. You know, so nobody will like, do you have a round head? Or even if you have a round head, the question will be, what has that round head produced? What has that fair skin pigmentation produced? What has that height produced? How has it benefited anyone? Right. The fourth point is, if you focus on your looks, you focus so much on your looks, it might lead you into self-hate and depression. Well, because even if you're Mr. World today or you're Mrs. World, you know, you always find somebody that has something that is better than you in one area or the other. And even if you're the best today, you don't know those who are being born today. You know, you may have somebody who is more handsome or more beautiful than the way you look. So you want to save yourself from that trouble of focusing on what is in the outside. The last key is never allow somebody to write you off or cancel you because of the way they think you look. Never allow that. You have treasures living within you. You have pearls, you have gold. And you know, to get gold, you have to dig deep. You have to look beyond the external. You have potentials, you have gifts. No one should cancel you because of the size of your head, your eyes, your ears, your skin pigmentation. No, you are a treasure. Scripture tells us that we have these treasures in earthly vessels in this tent. This is the tent. But within the tent, we have treasures. We are worth billions. No one should cancel us because of the way we look. Right? I hope you pick up something from this video. Thank you very much for listening. God bless you. Bye-bye.